Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Brooklyn One Light Double Shade Semi-Flush right here. This is the 12-13-7-7. Lots to talk about, so let's just dive in. Let's get into the height of the fixture itself, and this is going to be 7.3 inches from the bottom of the fixture, which is going to be bottom of your glass, to the actual ceiling itself, and it's 6 inches in diameter. Canopy on the ceiling, this is coming in at 5 inches, and it's going to go over your standard 4-inch junction box without a problem. And how it goes on is it's going to be using what's called a universal kit, a universal mounting bracket, basically. It's got lots of different holes on it, so it can accommodate all kinds of different J boxes and gang boxes. Show you more about that, let's look at the installations instructions. So if you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over on that side of the screen, midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say click here for installations instructions PDF, so open that up for me. It's going to show you lots of good information. It's going to show you a full parts list. It's going to show you how you put it together, which we're going to go over in a second. And it's going to show you detailed drawings of the inside of the canopy, so you get a chance to see all of this together in one shot. So, and those are on every page of actually on Hubbardton Forge's site and on our site. So take advantage of those things if you can. So let's take this apart, and I'll kind of go over all the different parts. So we have the glass itself, which is a hand-blown ball of glass, and embedded in it is going to be this collar that's threaded. I'll go over Hubbardton Forge's opal glass later in the video, but that's that one. And this is kind of coming in, diameter-wise, about 4 inches. So we know this is about 4 inches big. And then these are going to be the hand-forged parts, and they're kind of held in by these aluminum, these are beautifully milled, by the way, retaining rings. So here's one. Let's take this off. So this is the inner one. This is the accent. So when you're looking at anything from Hubbardton Forge and it says fixture, fixture is always going to be about whatever holding the socket together. So this is actually going to be what's called the fixture. This is what's going to be called the accent. And you'll notice up there in those pull-down menus, it's going to give you some choices for finish. So this is like I said before, this is the finish. The first one you're going to do is going to be the fixture itself, which means this shade and this. And the second one is going to be this one, the accent. You can do them in the same finish like I did here. This is modern brass. You can also do them in different finishes. You could do contrasting finishes. So you get to play interior designer with this. It's pretty cool. And quite honestly, I've seen these in both ways. I've seen this with different finishes, and I've seen them, obviously this one with the same finish, and they both look good. So there's no right or wrong. You should just kind of go with what you guys want. So let's keep going with this, and I'm going to kind of take more about this more off. Well, actually I'm not. So another cool thing with this that you can do is once you put these on with this other retaining ring, and let's put it back together again, you can move this accent shade around. So let's actually put the glass on too. We'll put that on, and then we're going to put the glass on. Like I said, super easy to put together. Goes on like that. Don't over tighten it. And then you can have this kind of different ways. So you can move these around. Let's see, like that. How do I want it? We'll have it like that. So more of it's poking out that way. It's really up to you. You can have this all kinds of different ways to make it look, the way you want it to look. I think it looks pretty good. So, okay, let's move on from there. And let's talk about a couple more things. We talked about finishes. That's very important, and size. What you really want to zero in on here is going to be what you can put in this and how much light you can get out of it. It's going to be using a G9. Do I have a G9? Well, let's just actually show you the G9. G9 socket. And where's my trusty G9 socket running around here? Hold on. Not there. Not there. Well, it's right here. So it's this. So G9 socket's going to be something that accepts a G9 ball that has either these tabs on the bottom, or it's going to have these little wires on the bottom that make little hoops. And it basically just plugs right in. Let's put this one in instead. Like that. So it just plugs right in without any problem at all. You can easily get these bulbs online. You can get them at hardware stores, but quite honestly, I found the best place to get these is going to be Amazon. So what I generally do in our showroom is I go on Amazon and I'll put in G9 LED, and up will pop a big page of all kinds of LEDs. If you want to go halogen, you can. Halogen is going to be rated for a 60 watt because of the heat generated by a halogen bulb, like this guy, in this piece of glass. Remember, these generate a lot of heat and they generate light, and they dim beautifully, but you know what? These things generate a lot of light, they don't generate much heat, and they don't use much electricity. So I would probably go LED if I were you. And this is a 75 watt equivalent LED. It's one of my favorites, and I talk about it a lot. And it's just good to make sure that it's going to fit in that bulb, because we know the bulb is about 4 inches. Yeah, fits great. Look at that. So when you're looking online, I would probably look for a 75 watt equivalent if you can. Maybe a 60 watt's okay too, but a 75 watt equivalent LED. And if you want it to be dimming, buy a dimmable one. Sometimes it doesn't really matter, like in bathrooms and places like that. But there are other places that you do want it to be dimmed. And then the other thing I talk about all the time is the quality and the color of the light. So the color of the lights are really important. If you're going to be using this in a bathroom, I would probably shy away from the 2700 Kelvin. That's that super yellow light. And I would probably shy away from what's called daylight. Daylight is it's a misnomer. People think it is a warm setting sun. Daylight LED bulbs are like a cold hospital waiting room. That's going to be 4,000, 5,000 Kelvin. Some people like that. I'm not one of them. I like 3,000 Kelvin. So the light coming down on me is a really nice warm light. People think this is an incandescent light when they come into our showroom. I have to kind of take it out and point it out to them that it's actually an LED. 3,000 Kelvin is considered warm white. So my choice on this is probably going to be a 75 watt, a 60, or a 75 watt equivalent. I don't care if it's dimmable, quite honestly, for a semi-flush, but I do want to be able to get a 3,000 Kelvin bulb. So I want to touch on Hubbardton Forge's glass for just a second. Hubbardton Forge's opal glass is not just another piece of white glass. This is actually hand-blown glass. All of their glass is hand-blown. And to begin with, it's actually a clear piece of glass to start with. And then they come in, they blow a second layer on the inside of white glass. Then they come back and they do a third step where they sandblast the entire outside. So you'll notice when you get these in your hands, they actually have layers of glass on them on the end. You can see them on these two pieces. And it gives it this really soft, semi-transparent, kind of milky quality. It's a soft glowing piece. Really, really pretty. They're really obsessed about details at Hubbardton Forge, and a lot of people don't. I don't think they appreciate it out in the world, but you appreciate it because that's why you guys are here watching this video. There you go. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you're on our website, HandmadeInVermont.com, do me a favor, look over on the left-hand side of the screen. You're going to see a lot of red tabs over there. One is going to be the Finishes Help Guide. When you're done with this video, go over there and open that up for me, and you're going to see a video at the top of that page of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a color chart just below the video, so scroll down a little bit, you'll see that chart. You'll notice there are pictures that have the letter A on them, pictures that have the letter B on them, and I'm going to be talking about that range you can see in variance on there in that video. So it's really important to watch the video, use that chart. When you're done with all that, come back down to that chart. You can click on any of those pictures and see a lot more samples of Hubbardton Forge fixtures in that finish. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in dark smoke, click on dark smoke. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in vintage platinum, do the same, and so on and so on and so on. That's a great way for you to see a lot of Hubbardton Forge stuff in different finishes and really take advantage of that, okay? So our showroom in Vermont has over 350 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's On display page on our website. It's going to be back in the red tabs over there. A lot of good things in that section. Check out. So when you open that up, you'll see it's all divided up into different sections like dining pendants and outdoor lighting. We're always adding to that. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. They don't even have a showroom like this. Nobody does. And they use this as their showroom when you guys come to Vermont to visit us. So lots and lots to see here. You can see all the different glass, all the different finishes, all the different fabrics, all of those things. In addition to that, we have a clearance center. So the clearance center stuff are returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. That's an amazing deal for you. If you guys want to take advantage of that, you have to come here to Vermont to see us. And when you do me a favor, measure all the kind of things about your project and what you guys are doing. So the most important thing is measure your ceiling heights to begin with. Measure distances between junction boxes and like windows and ceilings and those kind of things. So if you're looking at sconces on the wall, you can see if they're going to fit for you. If you're doing pendants over a kitchen island, measure the distances between those junction boxes. Widths of tables, kitchen tables, dining tables, lengths of tables, islands, all that good stuff. And also do a couple more things. If you guys have some tablets or iPads lying around, take pictures of all these things. Take pictures of the kitchen, take pictures of the projects you're doing. Bring that in so we can kind of go through those pictures together and we'll be able to see what you guys are up to, okay? And also the boxes and clearance stuff, for clearance stuff, are basically packed for shipping. Don't forget, these were supposedly shipped out. So the boxes tend to be on the bigger side, so bring a decent size SUV if you want to take stuff home. It's a really good opportunity for you. When you buy your Hubbardton forged fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. We're the only dealer that offers 90-day returns and no restocking fees. That's 3 months after you receive something to send it back, and there's no restocking fee on that. Some larger items and custom things, and it's usually going to be big things on pallets, are going to be non-returnable. It'll always tell you on the page for an item if that is the case, so always keep an eye out for that. And we also offer a rush program. So to get all these different metal finishes, Hubbardton Forge doesn't stock. They generally take about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. We can cut that time in half, and it's really, really inexpensive. If you want to know more about that, just drop me a quick email and I can clue you in on details, okay? So our showroom in Vermont is open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to drop a quick email, you can do that all the time. And that's going to be at sales@HandmadeInVermont.com, and we spell out the word Vermont. Or you can call me during business hours, 802-446-2400. So thank you for stopping in today, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.